Hi, I'm here to talk today to my pagan community, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, I need a little bit of advice, some guidance if you guys can direct me. I've been doing my research online to try to find resources, but they are, surprisingly more limited than I thought they would be. Now, let me tell you what it is. It's support for pagan families, okay? Let me tell you a little backstory real quick. All right. My mom has recently not recently, I would say in the last 7 years, has become religious, right? I grew up, she argues me on this point, but I feel like I grew up in an atheist household. It wasn't like stated that we were atheists. It was just there was no religion. There was no talk about religion. We didn't have a spiritual foundation. There was nothing. So I sought my own out starting at about age 10. I went to a million churches and was looking for my path. And of course, the first one is like Abrahamic Christianity vein of stuff, right? So anyway, long story short, I found my own path. I'm happy with it. 25 years going strong, I'm fine, right? Well, because my mom is kind of, she's getting on her path, and of course she's gone down the Christian path. So my path and stuff has been kind of questioned in the past, not so much now, but in the past, so we had those discussions later on in life. Anyway, in those discussions, the topic came up about family support, spousal support, like every family, especially when you start having kids and you're married and all this stuff, when you start going through problems, everybody needs support. And there's tons of outreach programs, and there's tons of marriage couples therapy. You'll find a million videos on YouTube and on the online about relationship counseling, family help, all this stuff, right? Just support to keep your family unit together, support to give guidelines to children on how to raise them with values and things. Well, when you look for this stuff online, when you're actually seeking out this kind of stuff, you come across primarily Christian-based things, right? And that was a point that my mom brought up when she was trying to debate with me about why her religion is better than mine. I mean, she's not really doing that, and I know that, but questioning why am I in this path. Well, anyway, she was stating that her point was, do pagans have family support? Do they have all these resources to help marriages, to help families when they're struggling, to help children? Are there these resources? And it was a good question. It was a good question because while I can find anything I'm looking for is when it comes to my own spiritual path, when I'm dealing with myself as an individual, it's an abundant resource out there for anyone who's not Christian, Muslim, or Jewish to find what they're looking for. But when you start a family and you want to bring those principles into your family, it seems like, especially within the umbrella term of paganism, which is any spirituality whatsoever that is not Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, there isn't a lot in abundance of resources to help. There's very little, very, very little. Or am I wrong? Can you and do you know? So, for example, I'm not Christian. I'm not. And I'm not going to go into it right here, right now. But however, even in the past few years, I have and do, and sometimes when I'm bored or I go to Christian churches, I listen. I'm the type of person where I can sit in a church and listen to a pastor speak and get the message, because I think that there's absolute truths and that there's universal truths within every religion. Whoever's talking, I think we can always channel. I think spirit channels itself through everybody. And if there's a preacher up there preaching and they're really trying to speak about spirit and about the word, I can get a message that's valuable to me. Whether it's a Buddhist or whether it's a Catholic or whether it's a Muslim, it doesn't matter to me. I think there's truth within every spirituality, right? I just weed out the stuff that doesn't apply. I will weed out when they start telling me what God wants for me, and when they start telling me what role God wants me to play as a woman, and just these things that are dogmatic that I don't buy into. So I can cut out some of the crap that doesn't apply to me, and I can hear a greater message behind any religion. Okay, so with that in mind, now having kids, and when I was going through, struggles with my family, primarily struggles with with my partner, with the kids, and I would look for help, and I would look for guidance and whatever. My mom was always sending me stuff like on Family Life Radio, which is a Christian family support radio station. I'm sure you can find it anywhere in the country or wherever. There's a lot of good stuff on there, right? There's a lot of stuff. But, where it would always get me is when they're just like, well, God wants you to, there's like a role for man and woman is supposed to be this way to her husband, and the husband is, that kind of stuff. I'm just like, so I would always get annoyed and frustrated when I felt like the things that, but the point of the matter is, there is a lot of help and a lot of guidance and a lot of like teaching your kids to be good to themselves and to each other and to their bodies, but it all falls under this moral compass of Christianity, which I don't fully agree about a lot of, you know what I mean? I don't want to indoctrinate my child in the path of Christianity. I don't want to indoctrinate her, period. I don't want to tell her that what I feel is the right way, and I don't want to tell her what they feel is the right way, but I do want to provide a platform of, morality, a value structure, and it's got to have some substance derived from somewhere. And, when it comes to like earth-based stuff, you can derive a lot of stuff from just teaching somebody to respect life and respect earth and respect nature and all of that stuff. But you get more into the interpersonal weavings of like childhood and dating and teenage years and marriages and interpersonal relationships with your partner, or whatever, or when you have blended families, there's all these. Christianity has like help in these communities, like especially on Family Life Radio, for every aspect that could come up in a relationship, whether it be a blended family, whether it be a divorce, or whether it be trials and tribulations within a marriage, or whether it be all these things, and it's helpful, right? So it brings me to question, what resources like that are out there for people who are not Christian, for people who are atheist, or who are anything? Are there support groups aside from just one or two? And like a lot of the pagan family sites that I have found in my searching is, geared towards like kids crafts and family songs and teaching, bringing kids into your spiritual rituals and stuff like that, which is fine and dandy. But I haven't found an abundance of support, even though pagans are abundantly, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of pagans, and a lot of communities of them as well. But is it because it's not the predominant religion that's publicized that these support systems aren't as prevalent? I don't know. So that's my question. I want to know if any of you pagans out there, or spiritual people, or new age people, or atheist people, or agnostics, or anybody who's not a Christian, who's not going to, lead me in a path of like, this is what God wants from me, and lead me in that direction, because that's not me, okay? That's just not me. Let me know. Show me some links, some resources, because I'm looking, but I'm not finding a lot. Stuff for kids that, just kids, everything. I don't, just everything. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.